now that we've got our our banner in, our graphic in, our headline in, and our body copy in, we've got them spaced apart, and we're now in 3 columns. We've got 1 block of copy, 3 columns. We're ready to do some typesetting. So we'll come over here to the toolbox and we will click on the type tool. Then we're going to come over here into the body copy, and it might do good to highlight it. It's a good thing too at this point to hit Command A on the keyboard, which selects all, turns everything black, because if there's any hidden text, it will also select that text and apply the typesetting changes there. A few things we want to look at first. Let's come over to our properties palette and we're going to look at our font. And the specifications for the type is times 12 point on 14 leading. We say it times 12 on 14. So we're going to make sure that's set, and that is. Times, as we can see, is a serif face. It has little finishing strokes on it. Here you can see them in the D, for example, versus the headline, which is a sans serif typeface. So it has no serifs. So we're going to set the body copy in a serif face times 12 on 14. A couple other things we might want to check are the indents. The indents. If we come down here to the paragraph area, and you might make sure you have paragraph style selected up here in the properties palette, we're going to come down to the paragraph and we want to look at, first of all, alignment. This is align left, this is align center, align right, this is justified, and other justification options along here. We're going to set this type in full justified, so we're going to say justified. Now we want to check the indents. If we hover over all these little settings here, you can see it gives us the name of these, and so this is the one that's the first line of every new paragraph, the indent. And a good rule of thumb, the golden rule of thumb for indentions is 1P0, not 3 spaces on the keyboard. You want to set hard indents here by setting spaces. So it's 1P0, and we hit enter, and you can see we now have 1 pica indents. So now we've covered things like font, times, font style, font size, font leading, and we've gone down now and covered indents. And in the headline, we've covered horizontal scaling. So let's do another tool of emphasis, which is the drop cap. We want a large initial cap at the beginning of this first paragraph. It's just a visual clue or cue to tell the reader where to go. So I'm going to click anywhere in this first paragraph. I don't have to highlight anything. I can click anywhere. Now I'm going to come over here to my properties palette and scroll down, and you will see this under paragraph. It's drop cap number of lines. I'm going to go 2, 3, and it creates a drop cap. Now that I've got a tool of emphasis like a drop cap, I do not need any indentions for that. So I can go up here in that paragraph. I'm going to take the indention down to 0. Another typographic tool of emphasis is the pull quote. To do a pull quote, you want to create a separate text block. I'm going to come underneath this middle paragraph. I'm going to click on the type tool, and I'm going to come and drag out a text block that is a 1 column width. And then I'm going to enter some placeholder text. For example, this area right here as my pull quote. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to paste it. Then I can go about setting the typography of the pull quote. Pull quotes are display type. They're bigger than body copy. They're probably not as big as headlines. So, and they might be a contrasting font with the body copy and even the headline, something to set it off. A pull quote draws us into a story. It's a typographic tease into a story. So I'm going to come over here now. I'll leave this at times, but I'm going to take it up to about 18 point and see how that looks. That's nice and big. It sets it off enough. I'm going to come to paragraph and make it flush left because I don't like that odd spacing. Now, what I want to do though is I want to set this pull quote inside this box that I have drawn. I want to center it vertically and I want to center it horizontally. So I'm going to come in here and hit align center. That puts it in the middle. Now, I don't have a vertical center selection here anywhere in my paragraph settings that I can see. So I'm going to go up to Object in the menu, and I'm going to come down to Text Frame Options. Remember, this type lives in a frame or a box, and these are the frame options. And you can see I can say vertical justification here, center, and it puts it in the center. So now I have my type set, it's in the center. I can also affect things like inset spacing here in this window. If I put an inset spacing from left and right, I might want to add to the space there. I'm going to take that up to like the golden rule, 1 pica. And I'll come down to the right and do 1 pica. What that does is it sets the type off from the edge of that box 1 pica as well. One other thing I might want to do typographically, if I just kind of look at this, I can see that I want to give it more of a voice. So I'm going to come in, instead of Times Regular, I'm going to make it italic. So that treats it in some special way, gives it some emphasis. I'm now ready to put that box up here in this column in the middle. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it right up here, and I'm just going to position it there. But we got a problem. Obviously, the type, you can't read it because it overlays the type. And this is where text wrap comes in. I'm going to go to Window in the menu and down to Text Wrap. And I'm going to select this middle option. It says Wrap Around Bounding Box, or the frame. That's just another word for the frame. So I click on this, and there it goes. You can see I'll do that again. Boom. Gives me a nice offset. And you see I have the 1 pica borders here, 1 pica borders here. And it's a nice little offset for this pull quote. You can do other things to decorate a pull quote as well. For example, you might even come in and put a light background screen or fill in this box. If I double click here, I get my color picker, or I could come up to Window, down to Color, and go over to my swatches. And then I could pick, for example, if I want to stay with the theme of that blue, I could click blue and it would go there. I don't want dark blue over dark type, so I might want to tint that down some to about, say, we'll just go 50%. And now I've got a nice offset pull quote there. Finally, I've got nice 1 pica spacing between the body copy and the edge, the right and left edges of the pull quote. I need to increase the spacing down here. And that is a text wrap feature. So I want to make sure I select my pull quote. I've got to reselect this pull quote. To do that, if I click, you might find that I don't get the pull quote. I get the copy around the pull quote, because the pull quote with text wrap goes to the back of this block of copy here. So what I want to do to select that pull quote is I want to hold the Command key and click, and then it allows me to select the pull quote. Now I just need to go and make sure my text wrap on the bottom is 1 pica. So I'm going to come in here, type a 1, hit return, and it pushes it off. So now I've got a nice 1 pica boundary everywhere there. So it's really important to learn about the box model and learn about text wrap, inset spacing inside a box, and spacing around the box. Those are important features.